係有咩期望？
大家有正常交流啦，可以有良性嘅對話啦。
應該唔係有惡性對話嘅。
同埋係咯，即係個方向係喺個對話之間，咁大家可以增進了解，咁係啦，彼此都可以知道對方一啲正面嘅事情。
可能你識到朋友就得啦，其實佢肯接受我方面就 O K 嘅。
會唔會咧？唔會啦，係咪啊？
會唔會冇共同話題啊？共同話題就一定冇乜㗎啦，但係佢哋總會揾到少少出嚟講。今日天氣幾好，呢度啲嘢幾好食咁樣咯。
共同話題會有啲嘅，因為其實我相信啲參加者少極都幾個禮拜或者幾個月，如果喺 Glasgow 或者喺甚至乎 UK 咁，所以我諗呢個唔係一個大問題嚟嘅。
佢應該係經即係啲香港人同 local 嘅參加者會唔會難溝通，或者係大家唔好知你講緊咩？
我唔會，咁呢個就應該唔會嘅。不過好難講啦，我哋而家係未開始嘅，開始咗之後咧，我哋有第一次，咁我哋就可以吸收到之後嘅經驗啦。如果
佢哋 dead air 嘅，我哋就搭訕吹水啦。
有大師喺嗰度。
Cybersecurity. I think I like both. Yeah, I like both. Something comes in. So one brings you one brings.
My name is Chance. I came from Taiwan, and I'm struggling. I'm struggling finding a job because when I was in Hong Kong. I was a general manager of a securities firm for. Now it's like a 23-year. I worked there for 23 years, being in senior management level, and now I'm struggling to find customer service administrative work without anyone employing me, and I'm selling my CV to everyone I know, so a little bit struggling. But I'm not making an endeavor seamless job because I didn't send out 1,000 emails. I just sent out 10 or 20, so I need to work harder. No, they just said, I got one interview, and because maybe I asked for too high salary, though, so the lawyer said, we have another more suitable candidate. Only because I don't have UK local experience, or because I don't have this local skills, I'm not sure. Because councils or the HMRC, they just simply reject without giving any reason. I can call them, but I don't want to. Most of the lazy people like me, they are struggling. If you work hard enough, I think they can. Because I have sciatica at the moment, so I cannot walk or stand too long. That makes me a little bit hesitate about the jobs. No. If I must say that Hong Kong is not China. Okay, Hong Kong is not China. If I stay there, I may not be able to get them to Hong Kong. Okay, but if I stay there, the freedom, as I mentioned to them, is deteriorating severely in these recent few years after 2019, the 1 million people demo. So if I stay there, my son, he may only learn those propaganda of the Chinese Communist Party. So although there is some restriction of speech here, even in Scotland, we cannot mention too much about the gender or the sex or something like that, but it's still much more free than Hong Kong. I don't have a lot of local friends, so I just watch Great Heart, William Wallace, and I just use Google or ask ChatGPT to check for some Gaelic, or sometimes I just try very hard to listen to the Glaswegian accent. I know how to say it's fang, set in. So difficult to understand. When I first come, I struggle. Even buying a coffee from Costa Coffee, I asked 3 or 4 times, pardon, can you repeat or speak slowly? All of our guests, you don't have very strong Glaswegian accent. Maybe you have softened a lot for us. I'm not sure. So I understand all of them. I'm so lucky and happy tonight. Very friendly, very nice, really.
Yeah, I was born and bred in Rutherglen, in the street just round the corner. My parents lived there for 45 years. I went to school in Rutherglen and then went off to university, and I've just recently retired from a very long career in teaching. I started off teaching English and German and then worked in primary schools for a long, long time. I won't tell you how long, but it was a very long time. I just thought it was a really interesting concept. Trying to imagine what it would be like to settle and integrate into a new community, because I've never had to do that. Well, certainly not in a land overseas. I've done it when I've moved to England, but culturally and linguistically, that's much the same. But I just thought this was an interesting idea to meet with people from the Hong Kong community and to see what they perceived about Glasgow and Scotland. I dare say you get that kind of thing in any country. But talking to the people here tonight, they don't appear to have had a lot of difficulty with it. And they're all speaking very highly of life in Scotland and being able to integrate successfully and enjoying getting to know people. But I dare say that there could be cultural differences, obviously. We've learned a lot about your culture tonight, just chatting, finding out, about... I imagined Hong Kong to be a very free country, but apparently it's not as free as I imagined. Probably because I knew a bit about it prior to 1997. And I wasn't aware of how much it had changed since then. So I can see why people from Hong Kong may want to come here where there is a wider sense of freedom. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love the food. Tracy and Joe vouch for that because I'm in here at least twice a week. I love the food in here and different foods tonight again. Some which were totally unexpected. I did not expect red bean soup for dessert, but every taste is just so different. It's wonderful. I suppose it has done to a degree, just listening to people's experiences, and not exactly what I expected. And it's quite reassuring to hear from the folks here tonight that they've not had difficulty settling in Scotland, and they're all speaking very highly of their experiences of life here and how the people have been with them. So that's very reassuring. Obviously, to try and get people to integrate as much as they possibly can, get involved in community groups, try and point people in the right direction with job opportunities, leisure activities, just trying to make it as easy as you can for people. It's an option. It might work. But we were, the four of us here are involved in voluntary work just now, and that's a really good way of. We were chatting to folks here tonight again about becoming involved in the charity, because you're immersed in the community then, and you do get to know people's lifestyles and their likes and dislikes. So it's a good opportunity for people to get involved.
Hi, I'm Timmy. I'm from Hong Kong, obviously. I've been here for 4 years, and I'm a student here. IT. Because they took me in, I guess. Yes, I do. They're nice to me. Yeah, actually, no. I think it's pretty easy to speak to them. And I mean, because we have study break and break in between classes, so we would hang out and have a drink or have some food together. So I think uni is a good place for you to make friends. Yes, actually, some of the students told me because they're from other countries and they're like, "Oh, we want some friends," but they can't. So, I've been lucky. Same thing didn't happen to me. Language barrier, I guess. Yeah. So, to communicate, I would say is language is important. First of all, you would need to be able to express your idea what you think in an efficient way, but it takes time to get to that level. I don't think you can keep being yourself. Just be confident about your culture. Do whatever you like. Be open minded. Eat whatever you like to eat, and introduce your culture to people, and just be yourself.
Oh, he might not get me to stop once I get started. My name's Karen. I have lived, worked, socialised in Glasgow for 63 years now. So I'm just giving away my age. I'm very passionate about my country and Scottish people and the freedom. I've listened to these lovely young people tonight and quite blown away by the restrictions they've talked about in their home country. And I think it's fabulous they've been brave enough to come here, bring their children, encourage their parents to come and enjoy a fabulous country like Scotland, the freedom, how beautiful it is. I know we're getting great weather just now. I've already talked with a couple of the people tonight about the hill walking that I do, the outdoor life we can experience, and eating together and sharing lots of stories this evening. So I'm very passionate about Scotland. I think it's interesting. Maybe not just as interesting as some of the Hong Kong culture tonight, but we've got some great history and culture too now, eating habits and sharing. A great saying in my family is the family that eat together stay together. And my family, I'm very fortunate, we do eat together, we socialise together. I even just holidayed with my whole family, 11 of us, went away to Portugal together. We are very close-knit. We encourage each other to talk, to share. Whether things are good or bad, we'll talk very openly. And I hope that more people coming to Scotland, especially Glasgow, will find it welcoming and be able to share their experiences and feel very welcomed and relaxed in Glasgow.
Before?
I'm ashamed to say no. I have no Hong Kong friends. My nephew and his wife lived in Hong Kong for 5 years. They went out there, they had university degrees and they wanted to experience different culture, different life. They were very successful there, but I don't think they settled necessarily, not the culture, but again, limitations that we've talked about, being restricted, but it worked well for them. And I'm so sorry I didn't visit them. They were there. They kept saying, Karen, come over and come to Hong Kong. I wish I had now. They're now back in London, living very much the London life. But no, I had no Hong Kong friends. I thought they'd be
Before you
Hong Kong
really
people
spoke.
were much quieter, much more withdrawn. But not for the lovely people I've spoken to this evening. We're very happy to share openly. So my view was maybe, or my perception has been all wrong tonight because they've been very warm and lovely and very open about their lives. I think if you are prepared to work very hard in Glasgow you can do well. Don't be shy if opportunity comes your way. Don't take a step back, take 2 steps forward. If you've got a hard-working ethic, you can succeed really well. Because I did a lot of education as a young woman. I've worked in hospitals. I went on to work for the government. I've always had ambition, and I now have a little bit of property I own. I think if you work hard, the world is your oyster here.
My name is Joe. I've been in Glasgow for 1.5 years right now with my family, my wife and 2 very young kids. Yeah. I compare a lot of different city, the element before I come here, and I think about my child's education, the job seeking, and also for the cost of living as well. Yeah, as finally I got the result to come here. Yeah. Not much. I think the main reason I think you just put yourself to try everything. Yeah, to try everything as you can. Yeah, be open mind. Yeah. I don't think too much about how people think of you. Okay. I think it's quite nice actually. Because some of my friends they made in England or some south of the UK. They some of the experience of them is not really nice in what I'm heard. Yeah, but in here in the Scottish, I think most of the Scottish really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
And really helpful. Sometimes even for my family, yeah, they said same as me. Oh, I would like to try to through these activities to know more about another people in here and make some friends or maybe yeah.
So
I think as within the expectation, I would say yeah, and also very honest to have some chatting with the locals in here, yeah, to know about their life and know about their volunteer work as well.
Hi, I'm Joe. I'm an actor / voice actor. I've been doing that for 16 years now. I've lived in Glasgow all my life. I literally lived around the corner for 29 years, only just recently moved. I act and everything. I started in musical theatre, and I've now moved into doing health and safety videos for big companies. Just anyone that pays, basically. Yes, I have my friend Annie, and she's originally from Hong Kong, and I have my friend Anthony as well, who is British born Chinese, but yeah, same as everyone else, honestly.
any special traits?
Culture is it's a lot more interesting than our own. In
How so?
honestly.
How is that?
It's got such a sense of togetherness with it. It always feels like anytime I'm talking to someone from Hong Kong or from China, it's always a case of they're friends with their family, which isn't normally focused on for ourselves. It's even with the food and stuff like that, it's always about togetherness. It's about sharing. It's nice learning about that. Honestly, I was asked by a couple of friends. It was just at first to be nice, but also to be I guess a kind of representative for the people that are around here just day to day. Someone that can share a bit of light on just how a Glaswegian normally is. We're a lot friendlier than we sound. Any Glaswegian you meet should be a happy enough person, happy to interact, happy to direct you, happy to just be themselves. They shouldn't ever be someone who's too aggressive. They'll always try to help you out.
Yeah, I'm Bruce. I came here in last April because I want my son to have a better education. the less stress environment, and maybe I want him to have freedom of speech. So yeah, I bring him here. That's why I bring him here. Everything is good except the weather. Yeah. But recently it's this, so the sunshine is very enough. Yeah, I like hiking here. So that's very good. Um, Not yet, but I hope one day I can have some local friends, and I can be able to integrate into the society. Yeah. The ultimate goal is to find a job, but it's so challenging to me because my English is not good enough. Yeah. Anything I can.
So my name is Anthea. I am born and raised in Glasgow. I am second generation Chinese living in Glasgow. My mum is from Shenzhen, but unfortunately, just with the circumstances of how I grew up, my Chinese is not great. My Canto is not great, but yeah. So I'm really Glaswegian. Both, very much both. I can I grew up with a lot of Chinese babysitters, so there's some part of my identity that is very tied to that. But I'm also very Scottish because I grew up here. I've always lived here. I've travelled a little bit, but I've always lived in Glasgow. Yeah. So I would say that I am both. I am sort of culturally mixed. I'm culturally mixed. So interestingly, I did in a sense, but not in the am I Chinese or am I Scottish, but more so in the blending of both aspects of that identity. Of I grew up with very much this sort of Chinese side, but not as much as someone who had grown up in Hong Kong or grown up in Shenzhen like my mum, but also I'm not white. So being in Scotland, I am Scottish, but I'm also never viewed as Scottish.
Right.
So I have this sort of interesting, and I live in this sort of interesting middle ground, and I've over the years sort of accepted that I live in that middle ground. So I wanted to join the programme because, again, talking about living in that middle ground, I know what it's like to be other, and I know I'm very familiar with people who, like my mum, came here when they were young, maybe their English wasn't great, and not really being able to integrate into wider Glaswegian sort of society. And even to this day, she's still very isolated from sort of local community. And coming here to do my bit of helping to build those bridges and break down the barriers and making transitioning into living into a new place a little bit easier. Also, friends helping out with the organisation has really kind of pulled me into it as well. So it's both an internal passion and sort of show solidarity, and also a bit of making things easier than what it was for people who came before me.
Right.
So they're helping people up the ladder. Oh, it was great. People like anyone else, you know. I have friends who are Hong Kongers, so my mum's from Shenzhen and spent a lot of time in Hong Kong. I've been once prior, and I would love to go back again as an adult. But I mean, especially being Glaswegian, I don't know if I'd have the same perspective if I was from anywhere else. But like having like a mixture of people makes the place better. Like Glasgow has a history of having a large migrant population, all the way to like the Industrial Revolution. So of course we're welcome. Of course everyone's welcome. And if anyone says otherwise, they shouldn't be here.
Sea Cafe. Just want to get something at Sea Cafe here. Actually, the Sea Cafe, starting from here, it is our logo. Sea Cafe, C stands for comfort food. Yes, and this one is the Chinese character. 廣東話 廣東話嘅 pronunciation also C， 嚟 C 田字下邊一個心 ，alright, and it represent we miss our home. Yes, we miss our homeland, and the C stand for comfort food. We hope the customer come to here, they can just have a feeling to have the comfort food. Even though some local customer, we didn't tell them what it stand for, but they will say some, I think 1 or 2 local customers say, oh, it just like the comfort food. That's what the story behind. And 3 hearts, it represents us. And Joe, me, and Ruby just working together to run this cafe as the 3 hearts comes together.
I'm Joe, and the journey about to set up the cafe is very miracle. And I think every step is prepared by God, because I think 1 year before we have the Hong Kong market. And then we become a trader in Paris market, have a store to selling bubble waffle and Hong Kong style waffle. And one day, one of the customer come to us, ask, are you interested to take over the cafe? Because
He's the property owner.
yeah, and looking for someone to take it over. And at the first time, I just want to know what is it about. Actually, I'm very passionate to cooking, and I never think that I will have a cafe. But after talk with the owner, she's very nice and willing to reduce the price, the rent, and also the handover price is very affordable for us. Then I started to think about to have a cafe. And very luckily, when we decided to have the cafe, and one of the friend, I met him in Glasgow, and he said, I know some interior design, and he used very limited budget to suggest us how to renovate here, and also free of charge to provide those lovely photos for us.
Yeah, also on the wall.
Yeah.
Also, they make it different on the right-hand side as well.
And also, is free of charge to design the menu for me. And a lot of equipment also is given from different brands. Some of them they decided to back to Hong Kong and give me a lot of category or equipment. So we're quite lucky. We are so lucky that we start up the business at a very, very low cost.
Yeah.
Yes. And one more very important is the first day from the Hong Kong market, the store in Paris market and Sea Cafe, we have the motto is sharing the Hong Kong food to the locals, and also have the opportunity to let us serve the Hong Kong people who miss home, want to come to chat with us, just come Sea Cafe, come to Paris. Then we have time. We would like to talk with them, chat with them, and share any difficulties.
Although the cafe is located not in city center or a quite remote area, but because it is, we can have the affordable rent. So we have the room to chat with our customer. And then also, we also told some of our Hong Kong customer, you no need to really have to pay for or just order the food, just like at the Paris market. During the weekend, we have the store at the Paris market. So we also told them, just come if you want to chat with us or you want to just, talk to some Hong Kong people or some friends, then just come over because we have the room to, to talk to them and no big pressure, high pressure, to pay for the rental, for everything. So it is what why we run the cafe here.
I think quite luckily, everyone come here the first time. Maybe they order their comfort food like all
They
day
will just look at
breakfast
this
or toasty.
design.
That after they come 1 or 2 times, they're willing to try the French toast. And because we do some Asian specialties like the Korean deep fried chicken, those I think is quite suitable for them. And yes,
I think the second time, maybe starting from the second time, they will turn over to try this page.
Yes.
And sometimes, we will explain or introduce the Hong Kong style food to the customer, and then they will try. Oh, maybe I can try that. Even though they take the toasty, and then we will try. Oh, maybe you can try the Hong Kong style French toast. It's quite, familiar. Or sometimes just like today, this week we have the weekly special, the number 1, the char siu.
they will talk to us char siu, not baby.
They know, we taught them it called char siu, and then they're very happy with that. They like that. And there's some customers, they will ask, the local customer, they will ask, when will you have the char siu again? Yeah, just like that.
I think the first day when I heard about the program, that's what I want. I think use the topic about food to open the topic, let them to know each other is a very good idea. So that's why we joined the program, and I'm so happy tonight they will meet each other, and then they have a WhatsApp group to prepare another meeting by themselves. I think that is what the program wants. Let them have the chance to learn, meet some local people. Yeah.
I'm not here.
From a teacher.
You can't shove your granny off a bus. Oh, you can't shove your granny off a bus. Oh, you can't shove your granny, for she's your mammy's mammy. You can't shove your granny off a bus.